Hello children, this is your physics teacher Sharma and I welcome you all back to my class again. I hope you all have given your CT well and I also wish and pray that you all should be in good health. In the previous classes, we were discussing about the topic some natural phenomena. As a part of that, we have learnt about lightning. We have seen that lightning is actually discharge of a huge amount of electric charge from one cloud to another cloud or from the cloud to the earth. We have learned that it could be disastrous and even fatal if we don't take proper precautions. We have learned about what to do and what not to do. We have learned about the safe places to stay whenever there is a possibility of lightning. We have learned that whenever there is a symptom or we can know that there is going to be lightning, which usually follows a thunderstorm. Okay, we should not be staying out in the open areas. We have learned that we should not be standing or taking shelter under a tall tree, or we should not be staying under like in any of those bus shelters which are made up of metal. We learned that home is the safest place to be whenever there is a thunderstorm. Okay. Similarly, if we are somewhere out, then we should never lie down on the floor. Rather, we should be ducking, that is, sitting down, keeping the elbows on the knees, and covering your face with your elbows or with your arms. Okay, will be a proper position because that will make you the shortest and keeps you away from the lightning. Now, coming to the protection of buildings and household appliances, we have learnt about lightning conductors. We learned that there will be lightning conductors which will be set up on top of every tall building, which actually provides very easy path for the charge to reach the earth. Whenever there is lightning, that charge would be first going to the lightning conductor, and usually that is made up of either copper or aluminium or zinc or iron, which is a good conductor of electricity, any metal which is a good conductor of electricity, and through that entire charge would be directed to the earth. So instead of passing through the building which is made up of iron and concrete, okay, it is actually traveling through a wire which is separated from the building and it is reaching the earth without disturbing or without damaging any of the appliances which are there in the building. So if we actually have a knowledge about there is going to be disaster or immense or huge amount of energy that is coming to us for the likes of lightning, okay, we actually can take some precaution or we can actually have some time to control the damage. For example, as soon as we hear a thunderstorm, immediately we will expect that very soon there is going to be another lightning, and we'll be taking precautions accordingly, like we'll be going into the rooms or houses, we'll be pulling out the plugs and other wires, will be disconnecting all electrical appliances. We will not use umbrellas, we will not stand under the trees to take shelter. So there are precautions which we can take. But remember, it is all matter of time. There are few disasters which don't give us any idea or any prior notice and they occur at a short notice. One of those is earthquake. Okay. Regarding earthquake, there are many mythological stories. Okay, it was believed that the earth is actually balanced on one of the horns of a bull, and whenever that bull shifts the earth from one horn to the other horn, then the earth will experience or it will suffer some tremors, that is shaking, trembling, and that we feel as an earthquake. That was the story which was believed, and each country, each culture has a story to explain this earthquake. But what actually this earthquake is? See, we all know that you all have learned in your social studies or in your lower classes that our earth is not actually a single piece. It is layer by layer arrangement. Okay, it has 3 different layers, starting with the crust at the center, the mantle over that, and the uppermost layer of the earth is the core at the center, mantle in the middle, and crust at the topmost layer. Now, the crust which is at the topmost layer is again not a single piece, it is bits and pieces, layer by layer arrangement, and because of the immense pressure which is built up in the lower layers, that is at the mantle, okay, this will be moving. Okay, the lower layer of the crust would actually be in motion. Okay, and these small pieces are actually called as plates. Okay, technically we call them as tectonic plates. Now these plates, when they slide over each other or they collide with each other, there will be a tremor or a shaking that will be experienced. As of now, when I am standing here, there could be an earthquake right under my feet, but I am not able to experience it. Okay, most of the earthquakes which occur, they go unnoticed. We don't even notice that. Okay, only few earthquakes which are of a higher intensity, that is when the snapping or sliding is more, okay, then we will be experiencing that earthquake, and that is really disastrous. Okay, earthquakes are really disastrous, which come at a shock notice. Okay, now where did we actually experience these earthquakes? Okay, earlier in 2004 we had a tsunami. Okay, and that is where a huge part of the world actually suffered. Okay, because of the earthquake which happened at the earth's crust. Okay, under the sea, that is at the seabed, a very high tide is produced, and that swept almost a country. Okay, so similarly, there are places where we suffered a huge earthquake, for the likes of one in Kashmir, the other one in Gujarat. Okay, so as I was saying again, this snapping or sliding of tectonic plates is actually causing the earthquake. Now, how do we measure? Like, we are saying that some earthquakes go unnoticed, some are noticed, like we can feel it, some are immense. Okay, how do we get to know? There should be a proper measure for that. Okay, the intensity of an earthquake is measured on a scale called Richter scale, and it is measured with the help of an instrument called sonometer. Okay, about this part, okay, we will be discussing more in the next class. So let us try to recapitulate. Okay, today our point of discussion was earthquakes. Okay, we have learned that earth is made up of 3 different layers, and the uppermost part of the earth is called crust. Okay, and this crust is not in one single piece, it is actually pieces. Okay, it is like plates, which we call them as tectonic plates. These tectonic plates, they are constantly at motion, and sometimes they collide with each other, or they go one over the other, they snap and slide over each other, technically speaking. Okay, and whenever this happens, that part of the earth actually suffers a tremor or a shaking. Okay, depending on the intensity of that collision, we will be classifying that as a strong earthquake or a weak earthquake. Okay, and that will be measured using a special scale called Richter scale, and it is measured using the instrument seismograph. More about this topic we will discuss in the next class. Until then, have a nice time. Bye bye.